The quest continues for my perfect smartwatch replacement. Reactions to the Huawei Watch 2 were mixed, if I'm putting it mildly. After a couple weeks, we can talk about how this chunky piece has held up to my daily use. Right off the bat, not much has changed from our first impressions in terms of design. This watch looks, feels, and wears better than the press photos might have showcased. And it certainly does the trick for durability. I've raked it ugly by accident a couple times during this brief review period, and it survived scrapes which would have easily defaced a pebble. This display is also very good for an OLED, one of the better phone-style screens we've reviewed. It still doesn't quite achieve the viewability of e-paper when viewed at steering wheel angles, but there haven't been any issues reading this display in Los Angeles sun.
A microphone and speaker can deliver that Dick Tracy vibe, which is handy in a pinch, but not really something I care to rely on in public.
The most controversial aspect of this gadget is that it's definitely not a successor to the original Huawei Watch in terms of design. The OG Huawei Watch dresses up really nice. Watch 2's focus on fitness makes it a trickier solution for those times you want to wear a button-up shirt. And this watch band is one of my least favorite included with any watch I've ever worn. It's not really a sport band, instead has a really cheap plastic quality and feels terrible on my wrist. I tried to ride it out for the review period, but had to replace it with a nicer sport band.
Barton watch straps for the discerning collector of nice, inexpensive sport watch bands.
Android Wear 2.0 is a nice improvement over using older Wear watches. The performance is snappy and the new UI is well laid out for quick navigation. There's been a significant focus on fitness tracking, and all-day heart rate monitoring has been my new favorite feature. It's so much better than just step tracking. You get a terrific snapshot of what the activity of your day really looks like. Huawei's second button is customizable, but I left it set to start a workout. Quick toggling for a bike ride, this nicely streamlines the process of monitoring a workout, an act which is fiddly on other watches. This software update much more resembles the idea of wearing a phone on your wrist. Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, LTE, NFC, and on-watch access to native apps and the Google Play Store. The feature set is more robust, but that also means this accessory is a tad more complicated to customize. Sure, swapping a watch face is easier, but it requires a bit more babysitting than other wearables we've reviewed. It's a little less a direct companion to your phone and more its own proper product. Battery life is a perfect example of that babysitting. Out of the box, all radios are on, so popping in a SIM card means auto-connecting to LTE when the watch drops Bluetooth. This works great around town for short stints, keeping you connected to your accounts, but my first 2 days wearing the watch, battery life would plummet at odd times during the day. Disabling Wi-Fi and LTE achieved consistent all-day runtime, but even then, maintaining heart rate checks, I've not been able to stretch this out to 2 full days of use. That, and we still have some of the same gripes with Wear, like a lack of leash notifications when your watch loses the Bluetooth connection. It would be nice to know if I'd left my phone behind or if I was using up LTE data. Wear still forces the user to babysit, actively monitoring watch functions instead of fading into the background of the user's daily life. So let's wrap this up. Where does that leave us with the Huawei Watch 2? I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I like it a lot better than I thought I would. It doesn't match my personal style, though a new strap has helped a lot. Still, this should be considered by folks looking for something sporty, but who also want something simple. It won't, however, satisfy a one-size-fits-all seeker. Since I like watches in general, I have options to dress up and dress down with my smartwatches. Spending this much on a piece of tech, we can appreciate the people in our audience who would hope to have both in one gadget. As it stands now, this is the watch which has mostly replaced my Pebble. I miss the battery life, I miss the thinner build and e-paper display, but just about everything else I like better on Android Wear 2.0. It faces formidable competition, and it's certainly not what we were expecting from a sequel, but it should find some fans out there. As always, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more reviews like these. Plus, we'll be doing a roundup on all the watches we've reviewed recently, so help us out with some sharing on your favorite social networks. For Pocketnow, I'm Juan Carlos Bagnell, some gadget guy on Twitter and Instagram, and I will catch you all on the next review.